Hey everybody, welcome back to a super fast episode of Fancy FSI DFS, Fancy NASCAR picks for a truck show. This show hopefully will be as fast as Xfinity 10G. If you watch the Xfinity races, you know they say that way too much. Okay, so we have a truck race, Milwaukee Mile, 1 mile, obviously. So it's going to be a dominator race. It's hard to pass a leader here. They haven't raced here in multiple years. Was the longest continuously run racetrack in America, I believe. So it's pretty cool that they're doing this. The contests are horrible on DK, so sorry about that. But let's get you some information and get you on your way. Most of the winners since they ran here, I think they stopped in like 2006. It looked like came from like the top 10, mostly the top 5. So that's where we probably want to focus. So Grant Enfinger has the pole. 12 fastest in practice, but the one thing that I put was their short track average here. So I looked at North Wilkesboro because they're running the same tire package as they did there, and some of the other tracks that they have run this year that were similar. So that would be North Wilkesboro, Gateway and Richmond, and the Indianapolis Raceway Park ones. So I'm assuming because it's an old asphalt track that it's going to have a high tire wear. So just be conscious of that. So tires should matter here. So Enfinger, love him. Chalk should get out there, dominate the race. Sanchez has had a very good season, was second fastest in practice, and looks decent here too. So he's another one to consider. And Hocevar is always a threat. So between these top 3, I think those are the ones where you really want to focus. If you can get all 3 of them in your line and find enough value, then I think that's good. Taylor Gray, I think, is starting too far forward here. And Daniel Dye, I'm not interested in. Akis is another one to look at. He was 10th in practice, and his overall track average finish here is 9th, so that's not bad either. So he's in consideration. Purdy, even though he's in the Kyle Busch truck, I think it's more of a GPP play. I think he'll have a low ownership, medium ownership, but I'm not super interested here. 15th overall finish. Heim is always in play here. Also like the place differential a little bit to try to get up there. Don't know if he can dominate here to pay off his price tag at 10.8, but he should have a good day. Jake Garcia, I think, can be playing cash. I love the discount at 7.5. He's had a strong season, as Nick Sanchez has also, and should be able to stay up there. Ben Rhodes, a GPP, he's just been kind of disappointing recently. So I think that I don't really want to focus on him. 14th in practice, 10th. I mean, you can play him if you want to, but I think I would play him more in tournaments. I'd rather take my shots on Enfinger, Sanchez, Hocevar, or Akis up there, or even Heim. Tanner Gray, I think you can play him in cash here. Should be able to stay in the top 15. Like the price point at 66. Swalich is another rookie that's been doing well, but his practice speeds along with Tanner Gray were in the 20s, so qualified well, but looking at the practice speed, I'm not super interested in those guys, even though I might change Gray to GPP just because I'm looking at his practice speed. So I think Majeski is going to be chalk. He does have to do a pass-through penalty here. So I'm going to change him to GPP because I just remember reading that. So he's going to have to start at the back, do a pass. It's going to be hard to get through up this field. Definitely was the fastest truck in practice. It looked great all week. So it's a boomer bust play here. I mean, if he can make it through the field and if he still has that speed, he can be an awesome play, but there's a lot of factors that don't give him the floor for cash, so not going to go there. Bailey Curry, I think, is going to have high ownership here. He's looked good and has a decent price tag and was second in long run speed. Kruth has had a solid season, and Ankrum is a little bit cheaper than these guys, but I think that within this block here, you've got some solid mid-range fill-ins. Haley Deegan's always a GPP. I mean, I hope she gets another shot on the truck this next year, but maybe she's driving for her. I'm sorry if there's news that was out that I missed it. But she might be driving to try to stay in this ride. So it's be a good track for her to do well. So GPP, though, I can't play her in cash. Zane Smith is going to be a prime. He looked really good in practice. He kind of botched the qualifying lap. So that starts him back in 18th, but he should have the speed to get up through the field and has one of the top average finishes here for these shorter tracks. Dean Thompson and Lawless Allen are some other value guys that you can fill in here, but looking at Allen's average finish and practice time, he might be a little bit more risky. Stuart Frieson's been a GPP all season. I just don't know what's going on with him. He just hasn't looked like his normal self this year. So he's always been a GPP. Matt Crafton is probably the only one that's ever raced at this, but there's a lot of water under that bridge since he did race here last. So I don't think that helps a ton, but I think you can play him in cash because there is upside of his place differential. But I really like Matt Benedetto for $200 less. Fourth in practice, screwed up the qualifying lap, 13th overall. Lots of good things here. So I think he's going to have high ownership and these will be popular in cash. Howard, not interested in. Kraus is too expensive for me here. I think he'll have some ownership though, because he was fourth in long run speed, but I just can't do it. Matt Mills is in the Kyle Busch 51 truck, which is one of the best ones. So I think he'll have some high ownership in cash. Looked decent in practice, top 10. Again, didn't qualify great, but I think he's got the skill and he's a really accomplished driver that just kind of fell out of his ride in Xfinity and just kind of ended up in the truck series as a nomad. But he definitely has a talent and a really good truck and team here behind him. Sean Hingoring, he was the one, if you watch ARCA, that purposely wrecked his kind of weeded to wreck his teammate on a road course. I forget which one it was. So I thought he wouldn't get any opportunities, but Hattori's giving him an opportunity in this truck here. He's looked good in practice. He has been fast. He has had some good spots in ARCA too, other than that one incident. So I think you can really consider him there. Connor Jones, for Thor Sports, I think that he's a GPP play. Brett Holmes is my favorite value down here at 29th. I think I like the price and I think I like the speed. And the rest of these guys are pretty much a fade. I mean, you can start Van Alst, who's an ARCA guy in cash, and at 4,600 starting last. But Rayum, he's not in his normal truck. So we'll see if it's he or the equipment that's the issue. Brad Perez, just a really slow Lumpke, he's from Minnesota and raced in the ARCA series in the Midwest, but I don't think he's a great play either. And Tyler Hill, I think maybe a GPP among them. Blicky, not interested either. So just this whole range you can probably cancel out, especially Lemke here, who's in the Reum Brothers truck, which is probably one of the worst ones in the series. So that's what I got. I'm going to try to get this video posted quick because I know the race is coming up within an hour. So put your questions in the chat below and I'll sign off and we'll see you next time.